Hello, Pisces Divine Feminine. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your energy check-in. I do want to share with you that this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it or it finds you, there may be something relevant to your soul journey within its contents. I also want to share with you that simply because this is titled a Divine Feminine reading does not mean that it applies solely to those of the female gender. You have both energies within you. Typically, one is more dominant, and as a soul, it is our job to learn how to balance those energies out. Okay, so you could absolutely be a Pisces male in feminine energy. Okay, this could also apply to someone who knows that their divine counterpart is a Pisces divine feminine. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Do not make it your story if it isn't. Okay, there's going to be a lot of information in here. So there may be some things that are relevant and some things that are not. It doesn't mean that it's not your reading. It simply means that those parts are not meant for you. Okay. I would also like to share with you that if you're curious about the decks that I'm using today, you can find a list of them in the description box below. You can also find links to my social media accounts, as well as links to information on personal readings and the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram. All right, Pisces, Divine Feminine. Before I came into your reading, I did draw for you a Gateway of Light activation card. I did this purely to save time because, again, we're going to be going over a lot of information here. And so I wanted to try to be as mindful as I could of your time. The card that did come out for you is the Solar Light Upgrade, Solar Plexus Chakra, Inner Fire, and Willpower. Okay, so what I'm really picking up on here, Pisces Divine Feminine, is that you could have potentially in your most recent past, and I do want to remind you that time is a made-up concept in the linear fashion, okay? So when I say in your most recent past, it could be a couple of days ago, it could be 6 months ago, it could be 2-3 years ago, or even longer, right? Just your most recent past. I feel like there's been this boost in your confidence. There's been something almost, I'm seeing like a flip, excuse me, a switch being flipped, right? I feel like someone just like kicked up your confidence a notch, and it may have seemingly came out of nowhere. I don't know what this is about, but it feels like whatever has taken place in your life, again, in your most recent past, has essentially kind of lit the fire, if you will. I feel like this, for some of you, this could have to do with a certain person coming into your life, right? I don't know why I'm being shown this, but I feel like this, what I'm about to say, could apply to those of the female gender, okay? It feels to me like for some of you in that female gender, you may have gotten into some sort of relationship with someone, and that could have helped boost your confidence. For some of you, this is a soulmate, right? Not necessarily your divine counterpart in the twin flame fashion, but a soulmate. I feel like this is somebody who you probably get along with very well. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It can just be a friend, right? Or if you've been in kind of feminine energy recently, this could be just a friend that's come in who's kind of been like, I feel like they've been kind of hyping you up to you, right? Like trying to show you or share with you, like, do you not see what a great person you are? Do you not see, that people like you? Why do you not see these things? Right? I feel like they've been encouraging you and supporting you and trying to help build your confidence in yourself. And I feel like there's something here about that, right? Like for some of you, it's given you this, again, it's just like a big boost, right? And then for others of you, I feel like you've been doing some work. I do feel like this applies to a smaller group of people, but I feel like you've been doing some work, and in doing so, you've discovered that inner fire, right? I feel like you've started to discover who you truly are, peeling back the layers, as it were. And I feel like you're beginning to discover who you are. And I feel like that is what is, in a sense, like bringing that fuel to the fire, right? It's like, wow, like I didn't realize how strong I was. I didn't realize how resilient I am. I didn't realize how much I've overcome or how far I've come. And it's this kind of awakening where you've been able to look back and see how you've persevered, see how you've been resilient. I feel like that is what has helped you to discover that inner will or that inner will fire. I don't even know where the hell I was going with that. That inner fire, and really boosted that willpower for you. I feel like it's given you kind of this, I'm going to go do this. Whatever this is for you. I don't know what that means. But I feel like some of you have said something similar, like, I think I'm going to do this actually, right? Like it's kind of like having this out loud conversation of maybe something that you've been hesitant to do before. Maybe it's trying love or, seeking love. Maybe it's voicing your truth, speaking your truth. Maybe it is stepping further into a career or job path that you feel aligned with, right? Maybe it's a move. I just feel like there's something where you had a conversation with yourself. And again, I feel like this is for a smaller group of people where you've been like, I'm just going to go do this thing because it feels right to me. That's very interesting because, again, it's like that spark to the fire. Okay. So take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't, right? Don't make it yours if it isn't. Let's jump in and see where your current energy is right now, Pisces Divine Feminine. So please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what do we need to know about Pisces Divine Feminine current energy, please? What do we need to know, please, about Pisces? Okay, thank you. Pisces Divine Feminine current energy. I do want to share with you, Divine Feminine, that this could be your energy or the energy of someone close to you or whose energy is attached to you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put these back. Yeah, I feel like I need to put this back, and we're going to take those three. I will go over what's on the bottom of the deck as well, and we are going to get tarot. Let's start off with this first card that has come out for you. There is here the victim in the light attribute or upright position. Prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. And here's the thing, right? I feel like there's that energy of confidence. Something has happened where you've suddenly gained this confidence where it's like, again, I don't know what it is. If it's somebody talking you up or you've just had the opportunity or an awakening to look back and see how far you've come, right? I do feel like this is your energy. I truly do. And I feel like this has taken a lot of work. This has taken, yeah, I'm getting it repeated again. This has taken a lot of work to get to this point. And I do want to say to you that, there's something to be proud of there. And you should be proud of yourself if this applies to you, right? If this resonates with you, where you may have in the past been in this victim mentality of like, why does this stuff happen to me? Why, what did I do? What did I do to deserve this, right? Yeah, and I also feel like you could have potentially told people stories as well, like bought and sold stories. So for example, if you were in a situation where it's like, why is this happening to me, right? It must be because I'm not good enough, right? That's you buying the story, okay? And then you going to someone else and saying, this is what's happening to me. Why does this always happen to me? It must be because of this. That is you selling that story, right? So I feel like in the past, you may have bought and sold stories about yourself, victim stories, and may have sat in that energy for quite some time. But again, I feel like you've essentially climbed out of that energy. You've either with help or without help from, your circle, your community, your family. I feel like you have found a way out of that mentality. And I feel like now you're looking at yourself from a much stronger point of view, from a much deeper perspective on what it took for you to climb out of that, to pull yourself out of that energy. And I feel like you should be proud of yourself for that if that applies to you, right? Yeah. I definitely, yeah, it just feels like there should, like, a congratulations is in order, really, because I feel like you've come a long way. I want to say that I feel like some may not recognize this about yourself or may not know this about yourself because you've pulled away from people. But I feel like if there are like newer people who have come in, like, so for example, you've done some work and you've made new friends, you've attracted those, or rather gotten more into alignment with higher vibrational peeps. Okay. I feel like those people have found their way to you. And so those people, right, you may share with them, like, this is where I was at some point and now I'm here, and they may have congratulated you on that, right, and encouraged you and supported you to, you know, keep going, that you have it, you've got this, right? I just heard that. But I feel like people from your past may not recognize this part of you for some reason. You also have here the healer in the shadow attribute or reverse position. You just watched me flip it around. It says here, taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for one's self. Okay. This is interesting because Divine Feminine, I do feel like this is your energy. It may be a past energy. This could be for some of you, not all of you, right? We're all in different stages in our journey, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like this, for some of you, this is an energy that you have been in before, if not current. Okay. Again, take it as it resonates. But I feel like the taking advantage of those who need help, there's something here about almost like being the savior, if you will. And that for some of you, I felt like that came with conditions. For example, like, maybe somebody needed your help and you go to help them, but it's an ego boost. Okay. So you may, like, I don't know, maybe you did like charity work or something, but you have to share it on social media, or had to share it on social media. Maybe, you know, you went to help somebody or something, but it's like you're waiting for them to express their extreme gratitude, right? It's to get that ego boost. Okay. For some reason, Divine Feminine, and this is nothing, you know, I'm not trying to be, down, you know, speak down to you or be condescending or anything of that nature. We've all done these sorts of things. I don't care who you are. We've all done things that we wish we hadn't, or knew, or wish we knew better, right? Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know. I've had to experience this myself. So again, I'm not talking down to you. This is simply just things that happen when we move through our ego, when we live through our ego and our wounding and our trauma. Okay. It's just what happens. So I feel like there's something here about that, right? About coming to the rescue, but it being to boost your own ego or to benefit you or make you appear to be some way or another. And I do feel like part of that could potentially be because there's this energy of victimhood, right? And potentially it was to help you feel better. And, you know, I like needing that positive feedback, right? Needing that positive feedback. And what's interesting is it's like the failing to care for oneself energy that I'm getting here. Let me hold this up here so you can see the failing to care for oneself energy. I feel is because there's something here about like, I'm not going to save myself, but I'm going to try to save other people, right? Like I'm hurting, but I'm going to ignore my own hurt and go to the aid of other people. It is a almost, whether subconscious or conscious, it's like this almost like a deliberate ignoring what needs to be healed within self and going to the aid of others instead. And I do feel fear coming up here. So I don't know what that's about, but I feel like there's a need to release any fear around essentially dealing with your own shit. Okay. Like, yes, it's painful. Yes, it is difficult. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, it takes hard work, but it's not something to fear. As a matter of fact, as I have been working through my own shit, I have found great freedom in facing those fears and feel much, much, much better about myself and my experience on this planet than I did prior to that. Okay. So Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, all sorts of things happen due to that, but it's nothing to fear, right? So I do feel like that is your energy, or potentially a past energy of yours. You may be coming out of that now, or being rather experiencing lessons, as it were, that are teaching you or showing you that that's what was going on. You know, like, oh, you were essentially ignoring your own shit, right? Like you were, that, I don't know, that's the energy I'm getting. Again, take it if it resonates, leave the rest. You also have here the slave in the reverse or shadow attribute position, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Yeah. I mean, it's in the reverse. I'm going to show it to you that way. I will flip it around, but it did come up in the reverse. This to me, right, the slave energy, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices, again, is that energy of like, I don't want to deal with my own shit. I don't want to deal with my own shit, right? So I'm just going to keep doing other things, right? And you do become a slave to your own wounding. You do become a slave to other people when you don't want to make your own choices, when you have a fear of addressing your own shit and dealing with your own shit. Oftentimes we will defer to other things. We'll, you know, create, or rather not create, but we will give power to, say, addiction. We will give power to substances. And an addiction, I don't just mean substances or alcohol. This can be addiction to social media, to food, to like codependent relationships, right? This can show up in various different ways. It's that, if you're familiar with tarot, it's that devil energy in the tarot, right? Like materialism. It is hedonism, right? Enslavement, right? From the devil energy. And that is what I'm picking up here. So I feel like you could have experienced trouble with addiction, perhaps. You could have even been in relationships that dealt with like addictive behavior or codependent behavior. You may have jumped from relationship to relationship to relationship, right? And essentially it's that fear of being alone. It's that fear of being by yourself and making choices by yourself and doing the things by yourself and living by yourself, which I want to say, in my personal experience, while, how do I word this? There's something very beautiful about connections with other people, having relationships, you know, love relationships, partnerships, romantic relationships and partnerships is very beautiful. I have no qualms with being in a relationship, right? But in my time that I've spent alone, I have learned how to love myself and built this beautiful relationship with myself where I love my own company. I enjoy my own company, right? And there is something beautiful, because it's like individuals who, when you're in that space, individuals who come into your life at that point, it's like, you better be coming correct and coming in alignment with where I'm at. Because if you're not, I am not bringing you into my energy, right? It's very, that's not to say that you won't communicate with other people. That's not to say that you won't be out and about and having social experiences and things like this. But it's like, if I'm going to bring you into my energy where we are consistently seeing each other, speaking to each other, experiencing each other's company, then it's got to be something that goes above or adds to, complements my own solitude, right? Like, because I enjoy my own company so much. So that's kind of, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to share that. You know, again, relationships look great, but when you have to be in them consistently because you're afraid of being alone or dealing with your own shit, that's codependency. That's not healthy, right? For you or the other person. So the bottom of the deck for you in this deck is the hero or heroine in the light attribute or upright position. Passion for a journey of personal empowerment. Yes, this is at the bottom of the deck, right? So this is what you don't see coming, what you have not yet experienced. And I feel like for some of you, you are stepping into this space or have recently stepped into this space, but I feel like it's not out because that number of people is small. okay? Which is not, and it's not nothing bad, okay? It's fine. But for others of you, I feel like this is where you're heading, right? Because you're learning how to get out of these situations. You're learning how, you're seeing your own power, right? And that's where this comes in, this solar light upgrade, right? With that willpower and inner fire. That I feel applies, like correlates directly to this hero card, where you are becoming your own hero, your own heroine. You're seeing like, no one's coming to save me. I must get myself out of this. I must pull myself out of this. I refuse to play a victim anymore. I'm seeing how powerful I truly am, and I'm running with that shit, right? That's what it feels like to me. Like, I am running with that shit. So that's beautiful. And I would, say, like, why not? Why not? Clearly, I mean, the energy that I'm picking up, like, it's, if you have brought yourself out of that victim mentality, it's taken a while to get there, like I was saying earlier, and you should be proud of that. Tell us more about Pisces Divine Feminine current energy, please. Let's get some tarot on this, get a little bit of clarity here. Tell us more on that, please. I'm going to take the one that's face up on the floor. Give me a moment. And put these back, okay? What else do we need to know, please? Yes, thank you. Is there more? Yes, thank you. All right. I feel like that is where we are. So first out, let's talk about this card that fell on the floor. This one came flying out right away and landed face up. This is the Seven of Wands. And this is an energy of giving up, lack of confidence, and overwhelm, right? I feel like this energy comes from that lack of confidence. I feel like this is something that many Pisces Divine Feminine are learning, and there's some who have learned this, who have seen that lack of self-confidence. I feel like they've been shown it. It's like, do you see what you're actually doing here? Do you see how this is affecting you? Right? Do you see how these choices are affecting you? Do you see what this is doing in your reality? I feel like you've been shown that, right? Which has kind of turned that solar light upgrade, right? Or that, rather that lack of confidence. It's like bringing this round for you, right? I feel like it's, some of you, it's flipped, it's changed. But you know what's interesting? Intuitively speaking, right? When I just read pure intuition, even though this flame is upside down, I find it interesting that it's low, that it's not sitting high. And that for me is almost indicative I'm being reminded of that inner fire, right? Because when I think of inner fire, like, and I'm seeing this, just to give you some context of what I'm seeing, is like that, like as if this were the belly, right? That solar plexus, like if this was the belly, that's where that fire has been lit within, right? From the depths of who you are, not just some phony, fake external bullshit where, oh, I feel good and I'm confident because I have makeup on and my hair's done and I'm wearing this great outfit and this cute person just told me I'm hot or fine or whatever the hell the kids use now, right? Like that's, it feels like, no, this is my light. This is my confidence. This is coming from within me. It's not something that is outside of myself. It's not a person. It's not an outfit. It's not a makeup. It's not a car. It's not nothing. It's my own shit where I'm like, damn, I'm actually doing good here, right? Again, take it as it resonates. That's just my own intuition picking up on that. Though I do feel like for some, especially dealing with this reverse or shadow attribute of the slave and the healer, right? I definitely feel like for those who are still in these energies of, failing to take care of yourself or giving your strength to something external because you don't want to make your own choices or out of fear of making your own choices, I feel like that is due to a lack of confidence, right? The Three of Swords here in the reverse showing up for you as well is recovery, forgiveness, and moving on. And I do feel like for a lot of you, this is the energy that you are headed, right? And here's the thing about the Three of Swords. In the upright, it's an energy of heartbreak, grief, suffering, but it is swords energy. So it is in your head. It's like perpetuating the heartbreak, perpetuating the grief, perpetuating the suffering because you won't let it go. Whereas in the reverse, it's like, okay, I'm getting out of my own head now. I'm letting this shit go and I'm moving on. This can be about forgiveness. Maybe you're learning how to forgive yourself. And it's interesting because I don't feel like, while I do feel like you could potentially, be seeking forgiveness in other people, I feel like you have come to some sort of realization that it starts with you. It starts with you forgiving you and then forgiving others, right? Even if it's not to their face, even if it's just for you, right? But I do feel like there's situations where it's like, I need to forgive myself for playing the victim, allowing that to happen, for playing this individual who gives away their power, or who doesn't take care of myself. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to forgive myself for that, and I'm going to move on. So I think that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And we have finally here the Nine of Pentacles. If I'm not mistaken, yes, the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles in the upright position is this energy of the fruits of your labors, right? Essentially rewards. It's interesting. When I went to say rewards, did you hear how my voice kind of cut out like that? I almost feel like you don't deserve recognition, or that you feel like you haven't done anything to deserve some sort of reward or to be congratulated. And I want to say that based on what I'm feeling here energetically, you have. Okay, you have. And I feel like the rewards of that, the fruits of the labor, for me, intuitively, has a lot to do with this inner fire that you've discovered, with the things that you've learned how to overcome. I feel like that's part of the reward. And I feel like it will continue to pay out, right? The more you sink into this energy, the more that you accept it, acknowledge it, I feel like it will continue to pay out. But I do feel like there's something here about you allowing yourself to be rewarded for the work that you've done. Okay? Maybe it's been difficult. Maybe that's not something that maybe that's not something you're used to, right? Something that feels very foreign. Yeah, I'm getting this like, almost like this tightness in my chest. It may feel very strange to you because it may feel like you're like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders, or like it's like breathe a sigh of relief. And I feel like that is a reward to you as well, because it feels to me, for some of you, you may have been walking around feeling like you're holding your breath, right? Again, take it as it resonates. The bottom of the deck, you guys, is the Five of Cups in the reverse. And this is beautiful as well, because this is another energy, again, of moving on, acceptance, and finding peace. And I do feel like that's what you're doing. Again, accepting the rewards, accepting love, accepting things into your reality, right? Finding peace in forgiveness, I feel. Okay. Let's take a look now at how you can allow your divine feminine energy to flourish. So tell us about, okay, there they are. Again, we will get tarot on these as well. I want to start with this crow energy because I feel like the dragonfly and earthworm energy are going to have me check the book. I read mostly intuitively, and every now and again I will get this nudge, if you will, to say, hey, there's something in the guidebook for somebody here, read it. Okay, and I'm getting that energy with both of these, but I will talk about them briefly. So first of all, this crow energy is psychic energy, right? It's like all seeing. It's the being able to see the past, present, and future. And I do feel, as a Pisces, you are likely quite intuitive. You are likely very mystical. You probably have a very spiritual connection or psychic connection, right? It would not surprise me in the least. And I feel like, yeah, thank you. For some of you, may have been seeing crows frequently. I feel like that is a sign for you, especially if it's like almost obnoxiously frequently. I feel like that's spirit trying to say like, hey, you have these gifts that you have not yet tapped into. Maybe you should think about that. Right? And I want to say here, I do feel like you are spiritually protected, because here's the thing, around the Sign of Pentacles, you have these feathers here, white feathers, you know, signs from heaven, spiritual protection. And you also have this rainbowish type of energy, not necessarily a full rainbow, but you know, I'm getting that energy of protection. And I feel like for some of you, if you do have spiritual gifts and things that have not yet been turned on, I feel like it's almost for your own good as a form of protection, right? To wait till you're ready. And for others of you, I feel like you have this keen sense of knowing, like maybe you feel things about other people, pick up on other people's emotions. You may even get glimpses of things, right? Like premonitions, things like this. I And for some of you, I feel like you may even see spirit. Okay. I don't know who that applies to. I don't know why. That's really interesting. But I feel like how you can, in regards to how you can allow your divine feminine energy to flourish, is by allowing yourself to be open to these gifts that I feel you do possess within you. We'll get more with tarot. You also have here, first of all, let's go over the earthworm. You do have the earthworm here. And I want to say that there's this energy of like releasing yourself from your own bullshit, for lack of better terms. This earthworm, if you look at it, just intuitively speaking, it looks all tangled, when really it's just overlapped over itself. It's not actually tangled, right? And so there's this energy of like, I'm perceiving myself to be stuck, but I'm not. So I feel like to allow your divine feminine energy to flourish, like just let yourself go. You're not really stuck. It's a perceived limitation, right? That's how I'm seeing this. So gain a new perspective, ground yourself, perhaps. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Again, I do feel called to read here with the earthworm and the dragonfly. Interesting. I feel like the dragonfly for some is going to be relevant. For some of you, you could have, I don't know, maybe you have a family member who's passed or something, and somebody's like, oh, every time I see a dragonfly, I think of that person. So there's something here about like this dragonfly being a symbol for someone in some way, for some of you. I don't think that's for everyone though. Let me grab the book here so that we can talk a little bit about this earthworm and dragonfly before we draw some tarot. Oh, look at that. Straight open to the page. I did not even try. And these are not in alphabetical order. They're in order by element, but not alphabetically once you're in that part of the book. So that's interesting. All right. So with this earthworm, the energy is shy, hesitant, reluctant to share inner vision. We all have felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Isn't that interesting? Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember they once felt earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder not only, or excuse me, I'm getting fear energy in this. So it's like a need to release fear around being the newbie. Okay. Release any fears you have around that. It says here, this card is a reminder not to be intimidated or lose hope. Mastery takes time and you're on the right track. Besides, the rumor has it a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insights. When in balance, earnest, intelligent, and valuable. When out of balance, self-conscious, apprehensive. To bring into balance, speak up or risk embarrassment, right? And it's interesting because this energy is shy and hesitant, right? And I was getting this energy of like having these perceived limitations, right? It's what you perceive about yourself. And that's very interesting because, again, this is that, oh, I'm a newbie here. I don't really know what I'm doing. And perceiving that as a limitation where it's not. It's not. Being a beginner offers you a brand new perspective, right? If you have nothing to go off of. So, for example, if you've never heard anything about, I don't know, skydiving, let's say, right? And you've never heard anything that would alter or sway your opinion, either it of being something good or something not good. And somebody's like, hey, do you want to go skydiving? You'd be like, okay, sure. Why not? Right? Like, sure, they jump out of planes and things like this, but like, if you've never heard anything bad about it, then it's not going to give you any sort of like misconceived perception on skydiving, right? It's just like, oh yeah, that sounds like it would probably be pretty cool. Now, that's probably a really horrible way to frame things, but it's just that energy of like, if you don't, I'll give you a better example. My youngest son wanted to learn how to climb trees, and someone taught him who did that for a living, who climbed trees for a living, was a lumberjack, right? And he expressed that teaching my youngest son how to do that was so much easier than teaching adults, training adults how to do things. Why? Because he didn't have anything to go off from. So he was fresh and learning fresh. There wasn't any resistance or hesitancy because he didn't have any of his own perceptions on it, right? He didn't have any way that he thought it should go. He was merely following instruction, right? So for him, it was like, this is the easiest training I've ever done because there's no resistance, right? And similarly, that's what I was trying to get across before. Horrible way of telling that story. I apologize. But that's what I'm picking up here is like, you don't have anything to go off from. So it's actually probably a good thing that you're a beginner, right? And you can just pick up and learn and pick and choose what it is you want to apply in your own experience, right? So, oh, this is working for this person and I like that modality. I'm going to pick that up. This is working for this person. Oh, I like that. I'm going to pick that up. This is working for this person. I don't necessarily like that. I'm going to leave it where it's at, right? It's not, oh, I need all the things. Interesting. Anyways, take it as it resonates. We'll get more with tarot. Let's take a look at this dragonfly energy. Give me 1 minute to find it. Here we are. All right. The dragonfly is a master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Interesting. We've talked about this quite a bit. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, sees clearly, joyful, and magical. When out of balance, can't concentrate, busy mind. To bring into balance, focus on the breath, right? So with these energies and us looking at this space of how do you allow your divine feminine energy to flourish as a Pisces divine feminine, I do feel like there's this energy of coming out of your shell, sharing your voice, and also to be able to alter your perceptions to try to gain better points of view. Slow down, try to see things from a different perspective, right? It's this energy of asking yourself questions and giving yourself time to answer them. Maybe that resonates with you, maybe it doesn't, but that's the energy I'm getting, right? It's this, I also feel here that there's this psychic energy with the crow, right? And this novice energy with the earthworm. I feel like for some of you, you may have just kind of fell into your psychic gifts or abilities, your spiritual abilities. And I feel like for some of you, there's this energy of how you can allow your divine feminine to flourish is by embracing those gifts, stepping into them fully, right? Not being shy about it or hesitant about it, but rather sinking into it and allowing yourself to change your perceptions of what it means to be psychic, what it means to be novice, all those sorts of things. And that is how your energy can blossom. So let's take a look at the tarot and see what else we need to know about this energy, please. How can Pisces Divine Feminine allow her energy to flourish? Okay, clearly that wants to come out. That's too many. How can Pisces Divine Feminine allow her energy to flourish, please? Yes, okay. Let's see. You have the Six of Cups in the upright, the Justice in the reverse, the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Swords in the reverse. With the Six of Cups here, I feel like there's healing being done, restoration of sorts. I feel like for some of you in a past life, you could have been persecuted for psychic gifts, as like when we think of like the witch trials and things like this. That may be something that you experienced, and that could be maybe why you're hesitant or have been hesitant to share your psychic gifts or to really step into them or to acknowledge them at all, right? And I feel like there could be some healing done there, but I do feel like for some of you, you may have been rather psychic or intuitive as a child and then shut those gifts down because you feared them. Okay. And I feel like in your adulthood, they're being restored because you are finding your way back to self. So there's this energy of allowing these things to happen. And I do feel like you may find healing in allowing that. All right. With the Justice in reverse, there is this energy here of, pardon me. Okay. So Justice in reverse does give this energy of a bit of dishonesty, some unaccountability, some unfairness. Again, that could be what you experienced in a past life, some unfairness, some injustice. Did I say injustice? Injustice? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. Some injustice. You may have experienced some injustice in a past life, right? Around be like sharing your opinion, sharing your voice, around expressing yourself, around expressing gifts, right? You could have experienced that, like feeling like things were unfair, right? And when I say in a past life, as far as this shy energy is concerned, I feel like for some of you, that's not like a past life as in a different incarnation. I feel like for some of you, this is a past life as, maybe a few years ago, last year, 6 months ago, right? That sort of past life. I feel like you may have maybe let your guard down, let your boundaries down, perhaps let people get close, let people in. And when you did that, it's like something happened where you essentially learned, I probably shouldn't do that again, right? That was unfair, like imbalanced. I don't know why I'm getting this. It's so odd to me. It's almost like this happened. I came out of my shell. This happened. And now I don't want to let people get close enough to see my truth. I don't know what this is. Oh, thank you, Lord. There's also this energy here. So the Justice is related to that Libra energy. And so for you, Pisces Divine Feminine, perhaps your divine counterpart, your divine masculine is a Libra. That could potentially be. But I'm more than anything else picking up that this could be this energy of there, so this energy of the earthworm is shy and hesitant and reluctant, right? And I feel like there's this energy of like, I'm not perfect, right? Because justice in the upright is an energy of being balanced, fair, honoring truth, beauty, perfection. And I feel like there's this shy energy because someone told you you're not beautiful. Someone told you you're not perfect. And you took that, you bought it and sold it. And then it's like, okay, so now I'm just going to like go into my shell and crawl into the earth, and I'm not going to share my things with nobody. Because the last time that I did that, whether it's vocal, physical, your emotions, whatever it is, I got burned. I got hurt. It was not fair. It was, unjust. And it was all these things. So I'm just not going to do it. Right. That's what it feels like. Maybe that is why you are in this shy and hesitant energy, because you have potentially put yourself out there before. And it's like I put myself out and I got smacked in the face. It didn't end well. Ended up hurt, right? That Three of Swords. So that's what I'm picking up with that. But we do have here also the Eight of Cups. And with this energy, it's like, it's like being disillusioned. I feel like you're seeing through the shit. You're seeing yourself more clearly, as you should, right? Not with all of these limited perceptions and like bullshit stories that you've bought and sold, or that somebody told you and you bought, right? I feel like it's walking away from that, leaving all of that behind, is how you're going to be able to allow that divine feminine energy to flourish, right? It's like really leaving all the bullshit behind. Look at all those fucking cups. They're all broken. You can't drink from them. You can't carry shit in them. They're fucking useless, right? So it's like, leave them there. They're not going to help you climb that mountain, right? They're not going to help you climb that mountain because there's nothing you can do with them. So it's leaving all that behind. And here's the thing, you have this incredible card here with the Eight of Swords coming out in the reverse. And I love that it is right beneath that dragonfly, because this is you setting yourself free from those victim stories. This is you gaining new perspectives. This is you accepting yourself, seeing yourself for the beautiful, amazing, incredible being that you are, and setting yourself free, flying, spreading your wings with that dragonfly energy, right? And that's purely intuitive, but that is what I'm picking up. And I do feel like that's how you can allow yourself to flourish. Stop repeating those victim stories. Stop buying them. Stop selling them. Just stop. Set yourself free, because it's all in your mind. The Swords energy is your mind. So this imprisonment, right? If the Eight of Swords was in the upright, the imprisonment is all in your head. Even if you look at this butterfly, the butterfly here, all it has to do is spread its wings and fucking fly, and it's safe, right? Which is exactly what that is, essentially, in the reverse, is you saying, look at these swords are not a fucking threat to me. All I have to do is fly away. And I love the fact that you have that energy here with the dragonfly, something that is actually spreading its wings. So again, I feel like that is how you allow your divine feminine energy to flourish, is to see like, and to move past these energies, right? To let the past lay where it is, let it be where it is, and move forward, accepting this new freedom, accepting yourself, right? That's how I'm seeing this. That's how I'm perceiving this. Because there's this energy here of walking away, leaving things behind, and starting again, having a different experience, right? And I feel like that is how you allow your energy to flourish. Like, stop, not living in the past, right? By moving forward, and to free yourself from those victim stories. The bottom of the tarot right now for you is the Sun, or Knight of Swords. And this is an energy of action, right? This is literally taking action. Literally, look at that. This owl has his wings. He's flying, is exactly what I was just saying. Spreading your wings and flying. Again, Knight of Swords. It's an ambitious energy, right? It's an ambitious energy. So do the damn thing. You're ready. You are so fucking ready. That's what I have for you there. The bottom of the animal spirit is the spider. And I'm going to read this to you because I feel like it's like gonna bring everything full circle. That's what I feel. So we're gonna go ahead and read that real quick. And then we will move on to how you can honor your divine feminine energy. Again, I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience as I look for this card here. I love these cards. I just really wish they were in like some sort of alphabetical order. I'm sure there's a reason that the author did that, but does not make it easy during readings. Okay, here we go. The spider, creator of prosperity through life's work and dharma. It says here, the spider is an ingenious creature. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It's hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. When in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. When out of balance, discouraged, tired, and forlorn. To bring into balance, playful creativity. So here's the thing. I feel like all that you are experiencing and have experienced throughout your life is in order to help you better align with your life purpose. I feel like the things that you've learned could potentially be part of your mission and contribute to where you go from this point forward, aligning more with your purpose here on this planet, right? I also feel like there's a big message here in regards to that process orientated versus results orientated, simply because you do have that novice energy out here. And it's like, you don't need to know all the things. You don't need to be at the finish line in order to be seen as purposeful, right? Look at how far you've come. Again, same energy showing up. You should be proud of all of the work that you've done. Okay. All right, let's look at how you can honor your divine feminine energy. Thank you. That was fast. Are there more? Yes. Okay. How can Pisces divine, thank you. There they are. All right. You have 4 cards showing up for you. The first card is forgiveness. I mean, I feel like that's pretty much cut and dry based on everything that I've said here so far, right? This is about, I feel, forgiveness of yourself as well as forgiveness of others, right? I feel like there's a lot of energy around you where forgiveness either has been required or is required in order for you to move forward. And I do feel like a lot that this energy, much of it is about your past and healing those injustices, those unfairness energies, right? Those dishonest energies. I feel like a lot of that is within that, right? Where this victim energy may have been as well. And release fear around forgiveness, right? You don't have to come face to face with anyone you wish to forgive. You can simply do it via prayer, meditation, by simply, going within and taking some time for yourself and releasing, right? I forgive for this, right? And letting it go, really surrendering. I feel like, but I do want to say, more than anything, I do feel like this is forgiveness of yourself more than anything. Because I feel like there's things that you go over in your mind potentially where you're like, why would I let someone do that to me? Why would I let this happen? Right? And it's this energy of like, these things had to happen. It's part of your journey. But forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know at the time. Right? You know now, don't make the same mistakes. And that 7 energy here with Bronwyn, excuse me, I forgot to say the goddess here who showed up for you. With this goddess Bronwyn, the number 7, it's about reflection and assessment, right? It's about really investigating yourself and being introspective, like sifting through the things, right? So forgive yourself. Let these things go. Okay. Release control. I just heard. You also have the goddess, I believe you say this like, it could be, I don't even know, you guys. I'm just not going to embarrass myself. You do have this goddess of revelation showing up here for you. This is the number 29, which reduces to 11, right? And I do feel like this is about awakening for you. I feel like you are having these revelations about yourself, and I feel like they are sparking that inner fire, right? I'm seeing this electricity spark as like that spark of inner fire, that awakening that has taken place within you to provide and bring to you these revelations about yourself, about how strong you are, about how far you've come, about how much work you've done, and about how proud of yourself you should be. I feel like there's an energy here of you taking control of your own life, right? Taking control of your own life. And you guys, this is pure intuition. So you could look these up online or what have you, and they may mean something completely fucking different. But it is literally at this time, it's like, no, this is your intuition. This is what you're meant to be picking up. We also have the goddess Ishtar with communion. This is the number 24, which reduces to 6, which is about harmony and healing. And I definitely feel like that is an energy that you are currently in. And with this communion, I feel like, first of all, you likely have people, if they have not already started showing up, likely to start showing up, who are going to support you, encourage you, right? So, lift you up, right? Who are going to essentially come into communion with you in your life. And yeah, it's interesting, like shine their light on you, or shine their light and draw you. I don't even know how to word it. It's so strange because I'm seeing it as uh like a moth drawn to like a flame or something like that, but in the best possible way. Like it's not that like self-destructive behavior, but rather these people are shining their light and it's guiding and leading you. And I feel like you're in communion with those people, but also there's this energy of being in communion, excuse me, with the divine, right? Who are leading you and guiding you and supporting you and encouraging you, even if it's not something that you readily recognize. So there's that. We will get tarot on these as well, just so you know. We also have here the goddess Kali with liberation. This is the number 26, which does reduce to 8, which is about mastery, accomplishment, as well as action. And I do feel, Pisces Divine Feminine, that you are liberating yourself from these victim stories, from these behaviors that are not beneficial for you, that don't, help you grow and learn, and things that are, you could potentially be repeating over and over, right? These cycles. Again, the victim stories, the victimhood energy shows up twice. And so I feel like that is big here with this liberation, because I do feel like you're freeing yourself from them. I feel like you're giving yourself the opportunity to experience something completely different. And how do you honor your divine feminine energy? Forgive people, because you make room when you do that, which is honoring you, right? You're allowing things to come in, allowing new experiences to come in, having these revelations, and allowing yourself to alter, change. I don't like that word. I got the word fix, but I don't like that word. It's essentially like changing your perspective, experiencing these revelations and changing your perspective, right? So that you are able to remedy situations and experiences and see them from a different perspective. I like that word much better, because I don't feel like we're broken, and I don't feel like you're broken either. So I don't like the word fix. However, we also have here this communion, and I feel like honoring your divine feminine energy is by following your intuition, because that is how your guides, your creator, are all speaking to you and trying to lead you and guide you down this path of freedom. Okay, so I do feel like that's how you honor yourself. Let's take a look. Let's get some more information. Tell us more, please, about how Pisces Divine Feminine can honor their divine feminine energy. Thank you. Thank you. How can Pisces Divine, thank you. How can Pisces Divine Feminine honor their energy, please? Okay, thank you. Is that it? Yes. Okay. I kind of felt like it, but I'm like, I better ask. I feel like this goes like this. I feel like that goes like that. And this goes like this. And this goes like this. Okay. So underneath forgiveness, we do have the Chariot card. This is Cancerian energy. Maybe your divine masculine or divine counterpart is a Cancer. Doesn't have to be. Just thought I'd throw it out there. The Chariot in the reverse is an energy of lack of direction, or loss of direction, loss of will, lack of discipline. And here's the thing. I feel like in the upright, let me just go over this. This is about self-control, success, discipline, right? It's also the archetype of the warrior. Here's the thing. I feel like there's this, I don't know why I'm getting this. This may be for someone specific, but it almost feels to me like if you were to step into this energy of forgiveness, that it somehow makes you weak. And that is absolutely false. Okay? That is false, right? And the reason I'm getting that is simply because the Chariot, again, is the archetype of the warrior. And I feel like there's something here where it's like, if I forgive these people, like I'm weak, like they don't deserve my forgiveness, this sort of thing. And it feels to me like, no, 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 that's not true, right? Because the divine feminine in her natural state is unconditional love. It's understanding. It is sensitivity, right? It is ease. It is kindness. It is tenderness. So from a divine feminine perspective, forgiveness is anything but weak. It is incredible strength. And I feel like that is part of how you honor yourself, is by seeing and understanding that to forgive is incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. Okay. Now, interestingly, we have here with the goddess of revelation, the high priestess. So as you can see, I've laid the high priestess down in this horizontal position. Typically, when a card lands in a horizontal position, whether upright or not, it is indicative for me that this can go either way, right? So there's a choice to be made here, whether or not you move forward in, pardon me, one direction or the other. What's fascinating about this is you have this crow here with this psychic energy, and look at this high priestess. They're very similar, okay? With that like crystal ball looking dealy, okay? The high priestess in the upright is that energy of that inner voice, the intuition, divine truth, divine wisdom, right? That energy of like seeing without having to see with your eyeballs, right? That mystic energy, very Pisces type of energy, mystic, right? I feel like some of you are potentially clairvoyant, okay? Clairaudient, perhaps, claircognizant, I'm getting. And I feel like this is part of that revelation that you may have had recently, right? With this crow energy showing up, with that psychic energy of past, present, future, being able to see those things. And I feel like there's some of you who fear this for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe, again, maybe you were persecuted in a past life, which has created a trauma in your ancestral line or what have you. There's something there where there's like a fear of being in touch with that intuition or with following your own voice or your own truth, right? There's some kind of fear there. And I feel like you could have potentially, again, had revelations around this. Like maybe you're like, holy shit, I'm fucking psychic. And maybe that's scary, right? Maybe that's scary. In the reverse, the high priestess is, repressing things. It's repressing your truth, repressing your intuition, right? Not really being in touch with yourself. That was interesting. I just saw like an orb of light. I definitely feel like this applies for someone. So there's this energy here of like, how do you honor your divine feminine? Well, it certainly, I wouldn't imagine, would be you repressing or hiding your psychic gifts, though you have that choice. I mean, you always have a choice, but it seems like here things can go either way. But in order to honor your divine feminine, I would say like there needs to be this acknowledgement of the gifts that you possess and truth, speaking truth to yourself, following your own intuition, because it's going to lead you where you're meant to be. And I feel like that is what helps you to move forward, move ahead. Notice both of these energies are looking in the same direction. And I'm just saying, I feel like there's this energy here of honoring your divine feminine by choosing to see your truth, your gifts, like choosing to follow your intuition. And I feel like in doing so, you're going to be seeing or privy to revelations that you maybe haven't had before. With Ishtar and communion, you do have here the Eight of Pentacles. And this is an energy of diligence. And I do feel like that communion with the divine does take diligence. It truly does. And that is, I feel like part of how you honor yourself is by remaining diligent and devoted, which is interesting because at the bottom of the goddess power oracle here, you do have Parvati with devotion, right? So I feel like that's how that plays in, right? It's like there's a certain level of self-work that needs to be done, right? A certain level of diligence and devotion to this communion with the divine, with the powers that be, with the divine consciousness that knows and sees much more than you do, right? There's an element of, let me put a little bit of work into, let me meet you halfway, right? Yeah, because for me, it's like the divine creator comes halfway and says, oh, here's an open doorway. Are you going to walk through or what? And then it's up to me to come that other 50% to actually walk through that door, right? And I feel like that's where this is coming in. Also, I'm being very drawn to the fact that we have that spider energy showing up again. I feel like you communicating or being in communion with the divine is part of your mission, your life's purpose. Maybe that's not for everyone, okay? But you have healer out here as well. And a lot of healers communicate with the other realms, right? So I'm just saying, take it as it resonates with you. You decide what you want to do with that information, but that is what it feels like to me. And I feel like that is how you do perpetuate honoring your divine feminine energy. Right, we do have here with Kali, the goddess of liberation, the Nine of Cups in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse is this energy of lack of true joy and dissatisfaction. And I feel like this is what you're freeing yourself from. All of this that has come through here over an hour's worth of information that has come through here has been to say, it is up to you to free yourself from this. It is up to you to liberate yourself from the things that don't bring you joy, right? It is up to you to liberate yourself from that which creates dissatisfaction in your life. And that's how you honor yourself, is by freeing yourself from anything that does not feel like a hell yes, right? If it's not a hell yes, for me, it's a no, period. Right? And I feel like this is something that you may be experiencing at this time. It's like, in order to move forward in this journey, in order to really experience a new way of being and to honor your divine feminine energy, there needs to be this liberation, this freedom from all of these things that make you feel dissatisfied, that don't bring you joy. Not true joy. Like if it's surface level shit, it's bye. It's not enough. It's not enough. like true joy in your heart, in your soul. That's the things that you want to be filling your cup, right? That's what you want to be filling your cup with, not with nonsense and bullshit. The bottom of the tarot, oh, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. I'll share that with you in a second. The bottom of the tarot is the Father or King of Cups in the upright position. And, right? Yes, upright position. And this is an energy of emotional control, balance between the head and heart. And I do feel like this is where you're heading. I feel like, oh, yes. And I just looked up and we were at 1 hour, 10 minutes, 10 seconds. So those zeros and ones are repeating. I feel like you are completing or reaching the end of a cycle, moving forward, right? I feel like the divine is trying to bring this full circle for you to close out this chapter, right? So that you can move on with this balance between your head and heart space. Also with that spiritual connection, right? Opening your heart back up, allowing yourself to be expressive, creative, allowing you to just be you, right? I feel like that's what that is. But I don't, it's like, but you're not there yet, right? Because it's on the bottom of the deck. It's not out in the spread. So it's like there's still things to be done in order to bring this forth. Interesting to me because at the bottom of the deck, underneath the Father of Cups, is the Mother of Cups. So these are divine counterpart energies, though the masculine energy is in the upright and the feminine energy is in the reverse. And with the Mother of Cups or Queen of Cups in the reverse, this is an energy of insecurity and dependence. And I feel like this is what you're working on healing. Okay. This is what I feel like you're working on healing. And with everything that has come through here, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. And I feel like once you're able to bring your heart and your head into balance, I feel like this will follow much easier. I don't feel like the insecurity will be as strong. I don't feel like that dependence will be as strong. I feel like all of these things that you are working on is to essentially flip this round, okay? To flip this round so that there is this comfort in who you are, right? So that there is this ability to be intuitive, to be sensitive, to be emotional, to be empathetic, to be compassionate, right? It's this energy of like allowing yourself to sink into divine feminine energy. Because here's the thing, I feel like for some of you, you've been in that more masculine energy. And I feel like for some of you, you've had to be, because it's almost this feeling of, if I'm not, I'm going to be taken advantage of in some way, shape, or form, and I will be hurt, right? Which has left you insecure and potentially dependent on others. I don't know. Take it as it resonates with you, but that is the energy that I'm picking up there. So this is what I have for you, Pisces Divine Feminine. I really, truly hope that this has been helpful for you in some way, shape, or form. I am sending you so much love, tons of hugs. Again, thank you so much for being here. If you have found this helpful for you in any way, shape, or form, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, and or subscribing if you want more content. Again, I'm so grateful for you being here. I've really, really enjoyed reading for you today. Thank you for being here. Take care of your beautiful soul, and I hope to see you on the next one.